wanted to make this video for another air conditioning video because my first video I did was on my Dodge, and a lot of people liked it and a lot of people had a lot of different questions about it. But on that particular video, it was just for that particular problem that that particular truck was having, which was common with them kind of trucks. You know, the evaporator core was just gummed up, so I was just trying to show how to clean it without taking the dash apart. But today I got a couple vehicles here, and I was just going to show you a couple common problems, a couple things you can look for yourself, maybe to try to figure out what's going on. So I'll show you a couple different vehicles. I think all these actually work, except for the one Dodge there. I'll show you there because it's something I can teach you there. So I'm going to grab the camera. I'll show you around. I'll show you how the air conditioning actually works and what you can look out for on different vehicles, so you can maybe figure it out yourself without having to take it somewhere. So I'll show you on this truck here real quick because it's the easiest to look at and work on. Everything's like right here. So first, I'll show you how it works. This is your air compressor. So it compresses gas, goes through that line, and then it comes through here and it cools it. This is your condenser. This is very important that this is working. We'll get that in a minute. So it goes through, see down there. So there's an orifice tube in there. Some of them will have a dryer, but this one has an orifice tube, and it goes into your evaporator core. So this is what cools the vehicle, and there's a fan that blows it. These are nice because it's on the outside of the firewall, so it's really easy to work on if you have to. Then it comes back through here, and this is an accumulator. Like I said, some will have a dryer there and they won't have the accumulator. Some of them have they have an expansion valve down there instead of that orifice tube, and there's like some kind of bulb or sensor on top that it can go bad too. So there's a lot to it that could go wrong. But on this particular one, it was, when I first got this truck, the air compressor was kicking on and off, on and off. I put my gauges on, I seen it had no charge. I charged it up, and you can actually still see how it's leaking there. This is where you charge it on a setup like this. This is your low side. But it has a valve stem down there, just like your tire would. And it was leaking some. But when you get them kits, they have a thing in there to, it's like a stop leak, so you can see how it came out there. And that's if you have a leak in your system. Sometimes if it's small, you buy them AC charge kits at like Napa or AutoZone or whatever, they have stuff in there to make it quit leaking. And it actually worked in this case. So back down to that orifice tube down there, sometimes they do get clogged. I know I had a Dodge that I had to replace it on, and usually on it you had to get the whole entire line. It was a kit you could buy. It was like 20 bucks, came with new lines. This one here, I don't know, I never took one of these apart. It looks like it comes apart in that coupler there. You take that out, you probably can change an orifice tube if you're getting good pressure and just not cooling down. That could be that too. This doesn't have a dryer, it's an accumulator. Sometimes dryers go bad. They can cause your system to freeze up if it's not drying properly. What else could I say here? The condenser. This is very important. This is working. I had another Dodge. And for some reason, these Fords, the air conditioner always seems to work. Like even on this other Ranger I got here, like it works awesome. Yeah, it's the same setup, and these are old, and I didn't know the last time this was charged, but it still works. But anyway, on the Dodges, if you can see here, yeah, it's important that this works. So I had a Dodge that it would run, it would cool down when you're going down the highway, then as soon as you would stop, it would just get hot. It was because that condenser fan there, or yeah, the condenser fan itself, it wasn't working. You got a fuse box, there's a fuse in here for the condenser, and usually a relay in there too. And was wrong with that one. The fuse was good, the relay was good, but the fuse box, it had a crack in it, and the fuse wasn't making contact. So I forget how I fixed that. Anyway, I got it working. So if you're going down the road and it's working good down the highway, then when you stop, get in town, and starts blowing hot air, it's your condenser fan. It has to cool that system down. And without it, you can burn your air compressor pump up, your AC pump up. If it gets too hot, it'll burn it up. Now, this is my diesel. And let's see, anybody have any clues why this don't work? Somebody neutered the crap out of this thing. I don't think you can see it down there. Air compressor's down there. It's just no belt, and then they took a freaking hacksaw or sawzall to the damn thing. Anyway, one thing I wanted to show you on here is very important, especially on Dodges. They do this a lot. If your controls inside only work on defrost only, it won't come out the vents or anything, it's this vacuum line here. They whack that off the hacksaw too. That vacuum line controls your flapper in there. So as a default, when it loses vacuum, it sticks to defrost. So on this one, I just ran that straight to the vacuum pump. It's pretty ghetto, pretty gangster, but it works. Because this truck's all manual, like the front axles are manual lock and everything. So it's the only thing I use the vacuum pump for, is just so I can blow air through the vents, I guess. Yeah, just to kind of go over everything again. So if you're having a problem with your air conditioner, turn it on, see if your compressor's running. If it's kicking on and off, it might just need recharged. It could have a leak somewhere. They do make special dye you can put in there to see if there's a leak. Compressor's running, to see if it's getting cold going into your evaporator core, and if you can. If it's not getting cold in there, it could be your condenser fan, it could be that orifice tube dryer, or that valve I was saying about there. And if it's working, going down the highway and then stops when you're in town, it's probably your condenser fan in front, your cooling fan in here. So check your fuse, check your relay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to it. It could be. So if you ever have any questions, yeah, wasn't the best at explaining it, but just trying to show you a couple little things just to check, just to see if you can see what's going on. But if you have any questions, just send me a message or whatever. Like I've been working on vehicles ever since I was this tall. I don't know everything, but I worked on quite a bit and have some experience. So if you have any questions, just feel free to ask. So thanks for watching.